I'd like to thank you all for coming this evening to celebrate this important milestone in the lives of our 8th grade students. We are exceptionally proud of their accomplishments, and we want to thank each of you for your love and support that you've given them along their middle school journey. We have a full house tonight. We have guests from out of state and from abroad who have traveled here to help celebrate TMSA's 8th grade graduation. Tonight, we ask that you kindly remain seated throughout the entire ceremony. I'm sure you are all excited to welcome Triangle Math and Science Academy's 8th grade graduating class, so please stand as we welcome our students into the auditorium. As students were walking in, that some of them are wearing sashes or cords tonight. These are being worn by students who will be recognized during tonight's ceremony for academic achievements earned during the school year. During this program this evening, you will hear from 4 student speakers, and we will also welcome some guest speakers from our TMSA community as well. At this time, I would like to recognize the 8th grade students who have attended TMSA since we first opened in the fall of 2012. These students were part of our very first 2nd grade class. As I call your name, please come onto the stage to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Nihal Abu, Kaylin Antonio, Max Garland, Noah Koch, Harvik Kala, Alexandra Kratz, Vedmati, Arya Paduru, Krishna Patel, Parth Patel, Rishab Patel, and Sahela Salem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first guest speaker tonight will be Mrs. Razin. She taught 2nd grade at TMSA for 6 academic years, including our first year in 2012. We are very excited to have her here with us today in honor of these 12 founding students of this class.
Thank you for inviting me back to speak to the graduating 8th grade class. Such an honor. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Ashley Razin. I started at TMSA during its inception in 2012. I worked here up until last year when I moved to a school that's closer to home. You may know my husband though, Mr. Razin, who's still an employee here. If you don't know him, that might be a good thing because he's in discipline. Looking at all of these faces, it's so hard to believe that these are the same students that I had in my 2nd grade class, or worked with from the other 2nd grade class. I didn't have all of them. At that time, we were a building in downtown Raleigh right next to Marbles Kids Museum. 2nd grade had 2 classes, and they were the only grade that was separated. I on the 1st floor and Miss Street on the 2nd. In my mind, these children will always be the ones that I had to tie the shoes over 1,000 times that year. It was a lot. Some of the students that I did have include Krishna Patel, Max Garland, Parth Patel, Kaylin Antonio, and Vedmati. I have so many fond memories of that year with each of them. I'm going to take a minute just to share a few. I'm going to start with Parth. Oh, Parth. He taught me humor is everything. Of all the students I have taught over the years, his personality in second grade stands out the most. He has the most outgoing personality I have ever come in contact with. Parth has a lot of opinions on things, and he is very willing to share. It's the way he does it that makes it interesting. He always has this way of making you laugh as he explains things. I was so excited to get to work every day just to see what this little ball of energy was going to say to me. He's a great person to turn to if you need a laugh or to brighten your day. As for Krishna, Krishna taught me to set higher goals because he was a goal setter. We would do these math drills where they had 25 mixed addition and subtraction problems that they had to do in 30 seconds. Krishna would get so into it that he would stand behind his desk cracking his knuckles before we started and then take off like he was trying out for the Olympics. When he was finished, he would look around to see who his competition was and then set a new goal for the next time to beat. He was very competitive in second grade when it came to anything academic. He would raise the bar for the other students, and he also raised it for me. I definitely had my work cut out for me because of Krishna. Next up is Max Garland. Full disclosure, I did talk to his mom today to make sure that the memories that I share are okay. He taught me to be prepared. Max had one of the most interesting years. He began the year a quiet, innocent, sweet child. Then he came out of his shell. I would say there were two very memorable moments with Max. The first is his spring picture. The only way to describe the look on his face is somewhere in between surprised and constipated. His mom, Mrs. Garland, could not believe that the photography company we had that year would send the proofs home as an option to purchase. I know she has that proof saved somewhere to use as an embarrassing photo for his future prom, so I'm not going to ask to see if we can share that now. The other memory that I have is the one that taught me what it means to be prepared. We were reading our story of the week when all of a sudden he regurgitated his lunch right in the middle of the lesson. Just sat in his seat, letting it all out in his reading book. I was not prepared for that. I wanted to clean it up, but I also wanted to vomit myself. And then I was worried about the other kids vomiting. And my first thought was, please don't let this be a domino effect. At the end, everything worked out. We only had one casualty. The reading book, we couldn't be salvaged. An interesting day that was. Another student of mine was Ved. He taught me to always question everything. Ved was probably the most inquisitive second grader I have ever had. We would be learning about a topic, for example, like the life cycle of a butterfly, and Ved would have 20 questions about the topic that he wanted to learn more about. Then, when we were moving on, he would be trying to think of all of the answers and come up with what he thought was a rational answer to all those questions. If he couldn't come up with one, of his own answers, he would go home and research it and come back with a lesson for me the next day. I learned a lot that year on preparing myself to better answer questions that I would just read up on everything. Now, the current thing I'm reading up on are the Who Would Win books. Just, in case kids ask, would a Wolverine or a Tasmanian devil win? And a Wolverine, just for your information. Last but not least, Kaylin Antonio. She taught me compassion. She is one of the sweetest girls to have ever entered into my classroom. At first, she was very shy, and it took a lot to get her to converse with me, but once she did, she showed me what it means to care for others unconditionally. She was always helping her friends when they fell down or got hurt. She has the most loving and sympathetic personalities of anyone I have ever met. Maybe not with her siblings, Luke and Isabella, but with the rest of us, she has so much compassion to give. I know I've been up here for a while now, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you, parents, for not only allowing me to touch your children's lives, but for allowing them to touch mine as well. And to the rising high schoolers, remember, the world is yours, so make sure to leave your imprint on it like you've left on me. I'm now going to give each of you a leadership pin for your many years here at TMSA.
Thank you to these students and to their parents for your trust in us and your continued support of TMSA. Parents of these students, please rise for a round of applause. Science, technology, engineering, and math are all highly encouraged here at TMSA. We will begin with some science recognitions. All students in grades 4 through 12 have the opportunity to demonstrate their STEM skills during our annual science fair. This is a highly competitive academic event where student projects are scored by local scientists and engineers. This year, the following students from this class were invited to the Regional Science Fair. Students, please stand when I call your name and remain standing, please. Science Fair School winners. First place in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Arya Paduru. Second place in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Gabriel Amanuddin. Third place in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Meenakshi Nair and Amanda Hopkins. And third place in Chemistry, Jonathan Dunham. Please remain standing until we finish all of the science. In addition, Arya Paduru placed third at the regional competition and won a special award from the North Carolina Water Works. Arya's project, called Less Water and Fertilizer to Help Grow Crops in Undeveloped Countries by Creating a Biodegradable, Low-Cost, Superabsorbent Polymer, has been selected to compete at the prestigious Genius International Science Olympiad held in Oswego, New York, later this month. Arya has been selected every year to participate at the Regional Science Fair. We are very excited and proud that he will represent TMSA at the Genius International Science Olympiad. We wish him a fantastic experience and our sincere congratulations. Our TMSA Middle School Science Olympiad team has a record of being highly competitive at the regional and state levels. This year in our region, TMSA earned the following medals. Felicia Kokar earned 4th place in herpetology and 6th place in potions and poisons. Ved Mahdi earned 3rd place in meteorology and 7th place in anatomy. Faria Nekar earned 5th place in Crime Busters, 6th place in Disease Detectives. Michael Tarok earned 1st place in Fossils and 6th place in Potions and Poisons. Samara Aguiarte earned 5th place in Crime Busters, 6th place in Disease Detectives. We also have 3 students from 8th grade who were selected and participated in the Golden Climate International Science Competition in Nairobi, Kenya. Arya Paduru won gold for his project harvesting wind turbine electricity on highways. Maliha Amir and Amanda Hopkins also brought home bronze awards for their project called Alternative Chemical Engineering Design Pen, Implication of the Double Displacement Reactions on Colored Salts. Students, please turn to the audience and let's congratulate these students for their outstanding achievements. You may be seated, students. Our first student speaker this evening is Gabriel Amanuddin. During both public speaking and social studies classes this year, Gabriel has expressed unmatched enthusiasm for becoming the best student and person he can be. As evidenced by his success in school science fairs and beyond, Gabriel constantly pushes himself to meet and reach beyond his potential. Welcome, Gabriel.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Amanuddin, and it has been a pleasure to stand on this stage and discuss my speech in front of 60 rising 9th graders. Since I attended TMSA in 5th grade, I can remember how anxious I was when I first stepped into my new math teacher's classroom. But with time, I adapted to the environment of this school, and I was able to make a variety of accomplishments that I could not do when I was in elementary school. Without the aid of my parents, teachers, and peers at TMSA, I wouldn't be able to make these accomplishments. Today, I want to share with you several achievements that I made throughout the science fairs that I participated in. When I was in 6th grade, I was in the International Science Olympiad Club hosted by my then science teacher, Mr. Eskinton. I decided to do a science experiment on a biodegradable replacement of plastic made from organic food waste. Plastic debris is an ongoing environmental issue that is happening in today's world, and it is polluting the environment. Since plastic has a lengthy degradation time, in my experiment, I created a biodegradable substitution of plastic and tested it to see if it had the properties of regular plastic. At the end of 6th grade, I submitted this project to the Genius Olympiad in Oswego, New York, and invited high school students from 150 different countries. Albeit I was one of the few middle schoolers attending that event, I earned a bronze medal for my hard work. In 7th grade, I decided to use my Genius Olympiad experiment and expand on it for the TMSA Science Fair. I earned 2nd place at the school science fair, won 3rd place in the regional science level, and made it to the state level. This school year, I conducted a brand new project from the ground up. This time, I was attempting to solve the issue of bacterial-contaminated drinking water. In some countries around the world, the drinking water that people consume can come from very unhygienic sources, which are places where harmful bacteria is the most prevalent. In this science experiment, I used essential oils with antibacterial properties to prevent the growth of bacteria in a sample of contaminated water. I entered this experiment into the school science fair and made it to the regional level, where I was given positive remarks for my project by the judges at this year's regional science fair. I plan to make improvements to this project, and I hope to submit it to the Genius Science Fair in the future. It has been a pleasure for me to convey this message to you all here today. Triangle Math and Science Academy was a great option for me and my family, and I hope the same goes for all of you. I thank my parents, teachers, and friends for supporting me, and I am especially grateful for having Mr. Eskinton, Mrs. Schloop, Mrs. Ingram, and Mr. Storley for being my middle school science teachers and for helping me make academic achievements in science fairs. I'd also like to thank my EC coordinator, Mrs. Stopp, for supporting me throughout my school years here at TMSA. Without her, I would be unprepared for middle school. Finally, I wish you all have success in your future, and I hope you all have a wonderful summer. Thank you for your time.
Math competitions are another very important part of our school's identity as Math and Science Academy. This year, TMSA participated in the Noetic Learning Math Contest, which is a semi-annual problem-solving contest for elementary and middle school students. The goal of this competition is to encourage students' interest in math, to develop problem-solving skills, and to inspire them to excel in math. Harvick Kala, please stand and turn to the audience as we congratulate you for being our school winner for this competition. Annually, we hold a school spelling bee for students in grades K through 8. This year's spelling bee winner was 8th grade Samara Eguerte Riez. Samara, please stand. Also this year, you can stay standing. Also this year, we held our very first German spelling bee. Congratulations to our 8th grade winner, Jack Riesenen. Jack, please stand. One other bee that we hold annually is our geography bee, hosted by our social studies department. Michael Taroke won the middle school and moved on to the state level of the geography bee. Congratulations, Michael. Students, please face the audience so we can recognize you. You may be seated. Our robotics elective class prepares students for the following robotics competitions: First Lego League, Line Follower, and Sumo Bot. 8th graders participated in all 3 and obtained these outstanding results. Students, please stand when I call your name. For the first Lego League competition, the 8th grade team members, Meenakshi Nair, Anna Morris, Jack Currington, Arya Paduru, Nihal Abu, and Harvik Kala earned first place in a robot mechanical design in the regional tournament out of 30 teams. They moved up to state level. Also at this competition, Miss Rayner received the Coaches Award. For the line follower competition, 8th grade team members Noah Koch, Jack Currington, Braden Thomas, Sam Slocum, all received second place out of 35 teams. For the sumo bot competition, 8th grade team members Arya Paduru, Nihal Abu, Harvik Kala received first place out of 36 teams. Our next student speaker is every teacher's dream to have in the classroom. She is a quiet leader who other students can trust and look up to. If a classmate needs help with an assignment or a topic, she is the one person that her peers can count on to help them understand the material better and succeed in the classroom. She is an example to all of her classmates as she gives her best effort on every assignment. Please join me in welcoming Samara Eguiarte Reyes to the podium.
Welcome. We would like to express gratitude to our principal, Mr. Kara, our teachers, and our parents for helping all of us arrive at this point. We did it. We've completed middle school and are now on our way to high school. My first day at TMSA was in the 4th grade, where my biggest worry was getting to class on time. I realized that hard work was necessary and responsibility was important at TMSA. We were challenged to be better and to be more. That year, I met many interesting and wonderful new students and teachers. I also met people who would eventually become some of my closest friends. They've stuck by my side and accepted me with my strengths and flaws, and I really love them for that. People come, people go, friendships form, and sometimes an even stronger bond is formed. Sometimes they fade away. But through it all, I got to know some pretty amazing people at TMSA. The middle school years can be especially hard. Sometimes you want to go back in time and desperately change something. There are times where you want someone to come back, but it probably won't happen. Other times you want help, but you also want to be left alone. Growing up can be difficult. TMSA has been a great place for me to grow as a student, person, and leader. I have learned much from my teachers and am thankful for all of their support. My teachers have taught me much throughout the years, whether it be long-forgotten 4th and 5th grade science from Mrs. Dawes, social studies from Miss Benner, math from Mrs. Lindauer, Spanish from Mr. Dano, or ELA from Mrs. Thompson. I accomplished many more things than I ever thought possible. I took part in several science fairs, participated in many math kangaroos, and won the school spelling bee this year. I can clearly remember painstakingly spelling each word, feeling a rush of excitement every time I spelled a word correctly. The spelling bee is one of the nation's oldest and most iconic competitions, and I felt fortunate to be able to participate in TMSA's school spelling bee. It's very bittersweet, really. This farewell to our elementary and middle school years is inevitable. But rather than be sad about what we cannot control, let's celebrate our achievements and walk forward. I wish all of my fellow classmates that wherever you go, you take with you all of your learnings, experiences, successes, failures and memories, all of your vivid moments at TMSA, your first day of school, your first best friend, your first recital, your first detention, your first award, all of the experiences that made you who you are, and you will find your identity. Hold on to every memory that makes you feel a sense of community wherever you go. As the 30th President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge, once said, "Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." Keep working hard, stay focused, go after your dreams, and keep moving toward your goals. Thank you. I now have the honor of passing the podium to Mrs. Lano.
Our second guest speaker this evening is Elizabeth Firm. Mrs. Firm is the current Vice President of the TMSA Board of Directors, so please join me in welcoming Mrs. Firm to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to take a much-deserved moment to share with you all here today that Carol Stopp, a teacher in our EC department, has made the decision, unfortunately, to retire from Triangle Math and Science Academy at the end of this academic year. Mrs. Stopp joined TMSA in 2015 and has done a tremendous job building the EC department, and along with Mrs. Quinn, head of the department. Mrs. Stopp is our first teacher to officially retire at TMSA. Mrs. Stopp, at this time, can you join me up here, please? Okay. Mrs. Stopp, your strong, no-nonsense personality, ability to empower students, depth of knowledge, and desire for every child to achieve success will be greatly missed. You never take no for an answer and have high expectations of each and every student. Many of our students would not be where they are today without your dedication. Not only have you taught countless students the gift to read, but many of your students have also gone on to win prestigious competitions in various academic subjects as a result of your guidance. As a teacher, you have high expectations of your students, and your achievements are admirable. You lead by example, and you're responsible for the success of countless students. We thank you for your sincere dedication, and I'm thrilled we are all here today to celebrate your accomplishment. Mrs. Stopp, we want you to know you will always remain an important part of the TMSA family. While we know you're shifting your responsibilities to yourself and your family, we hope you will return to TMSA from time to time. And I personally want to thank you for helping our family. I know my son is going to be embarrassed if I mention him, but he's worked with Mrs. Stopp for the past 2 years, and I've seen firsthand her dedication to students. So personally, thank you. You have made a long-lasting contribution to our school and to improve many lives. More than that, thank you again from the bottom of our hearts and for the privilege of working with you. You're a hard act to follow. You'll be missed, but we wish you only the best. And we'd like to present a plaque to recognize this day. Please rise and join me.
The next student speaker is someone who exemplifies the character traits we encourage in our students: respect, responsibility, diligence, organization, and empathy. Though typically reserved and quiet, this student is very insightful, giving others a glimpse of her reflective, perceptive mind. This is her first year at TMSA, but she came to us with a quiet strength and self-assuredness that is very refreshing. As the year unfolded, she demonstrated her intelligence and skill in class. She forged friendships with her classmates and has become a strong part of the TMSA community. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Heba Kitsi.
Thank you, Ms. Lanham. Welcome, family, friends, teachers, staff, and graduating class of 2023. I'd like to thank you all for coming here tonight. I'd like to thank my family for always being there for me. I have made so many great friends this year, and without them, it wouldn't have been as much fun. And finally, I'd like to thank the teachers, on behalf of all the students here at TMSA, for supporting and believing in us, even when we didn't. I've only been here at TMSA for 1 year, but before I came here, I used to live by the quote, "The sky's the limit." It was something I told many as a piece of advice, but TMSA taught me that I was wrong. The sky isn't the limit, because there isn't one. There is no limit to your mind, there is no limit to how much you can learn, and there is definitely no limit to what you can achieve. I may have been here only a year, but TMSA changed the way I think. It changed the way I see the world. It made me question the limit. What's past the sky? What about the many other planets? What about outside of this galaxy? What about beyond this universe? TMSA showed me you can go as far as you want, whether it be the large range of classes they offer or the amount of diversity in the student body. TMSA showed me and gave me the chance to excel and learn everything and anything I can. And this is something I will never forget. Even after this graduation, even after high school and college, never again will I see the sky as the limit. Because in the end, there is no limit. Nothing is stopping you from chasing that dream of yours. Nothing, except you. Thank you. And now I would like to hand the mic back to Ms. Lanham.
Thank you, Heather. Our next guest speaker is our very own Timothy Scranton. Mr. Scranton is our middle school's academic support coordinator. He has been invaluable to me, and the students quickly realized that he is personable, helpful, and someone who takes an active role in their academics and in them personally. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Scranton to the podium.
Welcome 8th grade students, parents, faculty, and guests. We are gathered tonight in order to celebrate a tremendous accomplishment, another milestone along the journey of life. As you lead this path and prepare for new adventures, I hope you look fondly at the time you have spent traveling on the road called middle school. For most of us, this road is at times bumpy, awkward, and sometimes it seems that you're running low on gas. It has many twists and curves and hills and valleys. Yet here you are, at the end of this path, ready for the next adventure. Before you depart, I want to give you some tips from my own experience that I hope you can use as you continue on your voyage. First of all, don't be afraid to try new things. There's a big world out there with many amazing possibilities. While it is impossible to experience them all, be open to them. Don't let fear get in your way of an amazing and fulfilling future. Try the scary ride at the amusement park. Say yes when friends ask you to travel. Meet new people and learn about their culture and their adventures. You will be amazed at what you can learn when you keep your mind open. Furthermore, don't be afraid to fail. Failure means you tried something new. If you are always successful the first time, you're not challenging yourself enough. Anyone can dunk a basketball on a 3-foot goal. Raise the bar and learn to jump higher and higher. The important thing is that you don't quit. Sometimes, the best accomplishments come from new experiences. Be open to them. Some of the tigers that have blazed the trail before you have gone on to do amazing things. For instance, Sean Malone just finalized all of his graduation requirements in December and left for Costa Rica to study abroad. He is currently teaching English there and will return for his graduation. Elias Ramos is an NC State Goodnight Scholar. Sheena Dean was awarded over $45,000 in scholarships. Matthias Vantelberg was an international top 10 winner at DECA this year. Our DECA club, although only 2 years in existence, has been named a chapter of distinction, both of them. This year we had 11 district medalists, 15 state medalists, 5 national medalists, 1 who finished in the top 10 in the international conference, and 1 who received a scholarship. Rahul Bhatia, an international DECA competitor, won the Yale Science and Engineering Association Award at regionals this year and Best STEM Exhibit for 11th grade. He went on to win the Social and Scientific Systems Founders Award for Excellence in Public Health. Lily Kaler has been studying Turkish at TMSA since 4th grade. She just completed 10th grade at TMSA and is currently studying Turkish at the University of Indiana this summer in the prestigious Turkish flagship program. Noah Scheinbaum and Kanan Hasanallayev created a math contest for Wake County. Over 40 teams competed this year, its inaugural year. We also have students attending the following universities, just to name a few: NC State, UNC Chapel Hill, Northeastern University, Purdue University, and the University of the Sciences, Philadelphia. Finally, make sure you are not solely focused on your final destination. Some of the best trips in your life will be the journey to get where you are going rather than the end point of your trip. Take the back roads. Try an unpaved path. And every now and then, turn left when your GPS says go right. You will be amazed at the wonderful things you will see that are off the beaten path. Far too often, we just hop off the highway for food and fuel, only to jump back onto the monotony of the interstate. It's a big world out there, so enjoy it. As you leave here tonight, my hope is that you look back fondly at the time you have spent at TMSA during middle school. Cherish the friendships you have made. Hold dear to the knowledge you have gained, for no one can take that away from you. Most importantly, I know that each and every one of you will shine always on your journey. You will go on to do amazing things. I would like to close tonight with a quote from Jodie Foster. There is nothing more beautiful than finding your course as you bob aimlessly in the current. Wouldn't you know that your path was there all along, waiting for you to knock, waiting for you to become? This path does not belong to your parents, your teachers, your leaders, or your friends. Your path is your character defining itself more and more every day, like a photograph coming into focus. Congratulations to the class of 2023, and thank you for all that you have already done. It's my honor to turn the podium back over to Mrs. Lanham.
The North Carolina Poetry Society recognized some TMSA poets this year. In late January, Mrs. Thompson's 8th graders all submitted poems to one of 2 North Carolina Poetry Society student contests. Students could enter poems in either the Mary Chilton Award category for 6 through 8 or the Joan Scott Memorial Award category for grades 3 through 8. Poems in the latter category had to be about the environment. 5 student poems received honorable mention in the Mary Chilton category. Students, please rise when I call your name. Vamsi Madugu, Nihal Abu, Krishna Patel, Parth Patel, and Faria Nekar. Furthermore, Faria Nekar also won 3rd place in the Joan Scott Memorial Contest and will receive a monetary prize. Marley Wingfield was one of the national winners of the Apelli Publishing Student Poetry Contest and was selected out of all the entries from Mrs. Thompson's 8th grade class to be included in the 2019 Rising Stars collection. She received a cash prize also. Students, please turn to the audience. Congratulations to these students on their accomplishments. You may be seated. At TMSA, we have a very active chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. NJHS serves to honor those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, leadership, service, character, and citizenship. Chapter membership not only recognizes students for their accomplishments, but challenges them to develop further through active involvement in school activities and community service. Students are wearing honor sashes tonight to signify their membership in the National Junior Honor Society. Please rise when I call your name. Daria Alexandrova, Kaylin Antonio, Isabella Ansari, Samara Agyarte Reyes, Amanda Hopkins, Habakitsi, Felicia Kokar, Alexandra Kratz, Harvik Kala, Faria Nekar, Ved Madi, Elise Ramos, Neha Srinivasa, Braden Thomas, Liam Westberg, and Ethan Zenick. Students, please turn to the audience as we congratulate you on this honor. You may be seated. Our next speaker is is the CEO of Triangle Math and Science Charter School, Ben Karaduman. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Ben to the podium.
Good evening. When it comes to the public speech, I'm not lucky at all. Something happens to Mike, I can't find my speech. I write it every time, but I have never been able to speak what I have written. Today, even in a worse situation, Miss Lanham wrote exactly the same introduction that I have written. So now I did it like in the last 15 minutes to make it special and original, so it's not. So I have to come up with something else. Determined students, dedicated parents, supportive family members, passionate and hardworking teachers. Today we are here to put a check mark saying that middle school is done. How is that? Welcome to the 8th grade graduation of TMSA. All right. As a father of 3 boys, I can relate to every parent by remembering the feeling the first day that you hold your little one to take to the kindergarten classes. A 6 years old, sparkling eyes, eager to learn. That day you start dreaming about which colleges that they're going to be accepted, what kind of reputable jobs that they're going to get. And then from that day, you start supporting them, helping them, what is best for them. They put first, then the 5th grade, elementary, now the 8th grade. Step by step, it's getting more serious. The faces are changing, the look are changing, and responsibilities are getting bigger. These guys are not little kids anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. Hearing all the speeches prior to me, all the accomplishments and what has been done in the school, even arranging a math competition by themselves, for the county, and there are a lot of hidden things, hidden jewels that we don't know in our schools. I mean, I am kind of new to the family, but what has been done so far is remarkable. Our job here at TMSA is to help our students to reach their maximum potential, to become a good citizen, to serve to their country the best that they can, and to contribute also to have a peaceful world. And starting from next year, the college preparation marathon is going to start. Not saying, be careful, not saying junior year or senior year. It has to start from your freshman year. Remember, we do not plan to fail. We fail to plan. So we will start working right away, planning from this summer, just to make sure that we're going to reach our set objectives and goals. Once again, I congratulate all our rising 9th graders and their parents. Thank you for making choice to bring your children to TMSA and give us a chance to touch their lives. I also thank all teachers and the school staff for what you've done and what you've been doing for our students. And again, you'll be working so hard in the upcoming 4 years, and we will be waiting for you after 4 years to meet as again the graduating class of 2023. Thank you very much.
Our last student speaker this evening and member of NJHS has been at TMSA since its opening in 2012. She is extremely bright, yet also incredibly humble. She is eager to collaborate and build others up. She is quietly a leader in the classroom, not loud or showy, but instead leads by example and through her positive attitude. This young lady strives for excellence, pushing herself to constantly improve, never taking the easy way out. I am excited to invite Kaylin Antonio to the stage.
Thank you, Ms. Lanham. As I stand here on this podium reflecting my years at Team SA, I think about what role Team SA has played in my life. Team SA has become my second home. What is a home? Is it a place, a feeling? Is it where you live? Someone once said, home is where love resides, memories are created, friends always belong, and laughter never ends. Team SA opened its doors in 2012 when I started 2nd grade. I remember walking in that very first day to Mrs. Rasmussen's classroom, back when she was still Miss Lindner, filled with fear and anxiety about making new friends and fitting in. I was greeted by a very caring, loving teacher who made my 2nd grade fly by. Fast forward another 7 years, and other great, caring teachers like Ms. Dawes, Ms. Finch, Ms. Dawson, Ms. Rayner, Ms. Benner, Mr. Eskington, and Mr. Dano have all made my returns to Team SA every August so easy. I will always remember how Ms. Lindauer shaped my love for math through candy. I will never look at another polynomial equation without thinking of her classes and the fun my friends and I had, while learning something so complex. And now I have Ms. Thompson to thank for my new relationship with grammar and my new title as a published poet. These teachers and others that I've not mentioned have gone above and beyond teaching me. They have shaped my mind and my heart. Their unending dedication and time has taught me how to persevere and how to work hard. Where would the world be today if Thomas Edison gave up on inventing the light bulb, or if Bill Gates gave up on computer programming? Anyone who has been given a math packet by Ms. Bushnock or Ms. Lindauer knows the meaning of perseverance. Team SA also gave us plenty of work to help us develop our work ethics. As Kevin Durant once said, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And the great Thomas Edison said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. At Team SA, there is no shortage of perspiration. In these 7 years, I've made great friendships. Although many of us are going our separate ways, we will always be connected by these memories. No matter which path we take, the sense of community that we each felt at Team SA will be something that we will carry with us for a lifetime. As a wise person once said, true friendship isn't about being inseparable. It's being separated and nothing changes. Team SA has enabled me to forge lifelong friendships with my peers and teachers and given me a sense of belonging. When I look back at my time at Team SA in the years to come, I will not remember the superfluous things. The things I will remember are the relationships I've made and the life lessons I've been taught. And as each one of you leaves Team SA, I hope you remember them too. I am very proud of all my classmates. My very best wishes to each and every graduate for a happy, long, successful future. Thank you. And now I have the honor of giving back the podium to Ms. Lanham.
And now, we would like to present each of our 2019 graduates with their 8th grade graduation certificate. There are 2 graduates who were unable to make it to tonight's ceremony. Mr. Carr will be accepting the certificates on their behalf. That's Rohit Akareddy and Vamsi Madugu. Maliha Amir. Nihal Abu. Aisha Abdul Basif. Rukaya Abdul Hakim. Kareem Abu Nuar. Rohan Ahmed. Daria Alexandrova. Gabriel Amanuddin. Isabella Ansari Jaberi. Kaylin Antonio. Megan Baker. Essay Baraki. Aryan Bendaru. Ala Bushama. Yusuf Bunegi. Zuriab Shanda. Vishnavi Changalavali. Harun Chima. Sakina Chima. Jonathan Currington. Jonathan Dunham. Samara Agyarte Reyes. Kelly Evans. Shadrach Frazier. Blake Garland. Samira Hashi. Sumaya Hashi. Zoya Hassan. Amanda Hopkins. Sophia Hughes. Ryan Janney. Ryan Kabaj. Sean Kennedy. Heba Kitsi. Noah Koch. Harvik Kala. Alexandra Kretz. Keon Lodfee. Este Lupe. Ved Mahdi. Prabhav Mamadi. Ariana Manning. Meenakshi Nair. Sidi Nai. Fariha Nakar. Josue Andrew Almeida. Radia Oyewale. Arya Paduru. Kiandria Palamak. Krishna Patel. Parth Patel. Rishabh Patel. Taylor Pipkin. Alice Ramos. Freeman. Taylor Robertson. Sohaila Salem. Samuel Slocum. Neha Srinivasa. Hannah Stevens. Niyavi Suthakar. Michael Tarok. Alex Thapalia. Braden Thomas. Noah Tomzak. Liam Westberg. Caleb White. Alexander Wilson. Marley Wingfield. And Ethan Zenick. Graduates, please stand and face the audience. Now officially the 2019 graduates. the TMSA teachers. If you're a teacher, please stand. On behalf of TMSA administration, teachers, and staff, we would like to thank you for coming this evening and to celebrate these 8th grade students and their achievements. We wish them the best of luck in their high school years. Students, please stand. Congratulations, students. You are dismissed. You may file